Morning, hope you're all well. How's everybody? And trust everything's good on your side. We've got our social media or Twitter updated for the Hollywood Bet Scottsville race meeting, and we've also got our WhatsApp group as well. Don't forget about Wednesday night as well, the Twilight Meet Turf and Team. We've already done that. The show's gone out, and that was from Friday, and our updated slides will play as well. With regards to this meeting now, let's get through it. Start with Darren Burrows. A couple of first timers here, Darren, and perhaps Laff will be the talk of the town for the morning with Calling All Angels. I see from a market perspective, the race is relatively quiet.
Yes, Clyde. Touching on Calling All Angels, I did listen to the Lafferty podcast this morning, and he was quite upbeat about her chances. He said she should be in the first three. African Beat had the 2 runs, so had the experience. The form line of her debut hasn't quite stood up yet. But of the race runners, number 10 has to go in. I would include all of 1, 2, 4, 9, and 10 to be safe.
Okay, so you're going quite a few runners in yours, Daryl?
Yes, Clyde. Obviously, the 10 brings racing experience into the race. She's had 2 runs. In her second start, she showed a lot more pace. So she learned from her debut efforts. Like Darren touched on, the form lines are suspect though. But she's got the racing experience and the racing fitness. Number 1, we've heard the comments. They are beat. They're expecting her to run into the money. Number 4 interests me. Hot Pearl. Now, Clyde, her dam won one race of the 1160. But all the siblings were sprinters. So there's a lot of speed in her pedigree. And her comment in the front of the computer for me is quite positive. Will run well, if not green.
Okay.
Opening leg of the bar pot, 1, 4 and 10. Hoping to survive.
Hoping to survive. There you go. That's the statement. 1, 4 and 10. And not easy. So here we go. There's lots of first timers. Watch the market closer to race time, and this is what your buy pot looks like. 1, 4, 10, by 1, 2, 6, 7, by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, by 1 and 5, by banker 3, by 10 and 13. This is a graduation, conditional graduation over 1,200 metres. It is the start of the place accumulator. Let me have a look at the market quickly and give you an idea what was happening at around 10 o'clock this morning. And Beach and Wood Boy, number 2 on the card, 28 to 10. Number 1, Don Karari, 33 to 10 joints. With number 6 as second favourite, Darren Burrows, Asaraludu. And then you got, I see 33 to 10 as well, about number 7. That was Slim, Slim Janey?
Yes, Clyde, this is a very tricky race. There's only 7 runners, but they all have chances. Beechamwood Boy has really come on since the gelding. He's consistent as they come. Keegan DeMello in the saddle. He'll run another honest race. Trade War's not out of it on his recent form. He has rested, though. Asaraludu won really well last time out. It said he returned lame. It said that a couple of times in the past with this horse. He's only had the 3 starts. He's open to further improvement. I thought 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7 have a say.
Got a small field and everything can win by the sounds of things.
Small but competitive, Clyde. Best in over here is actually Slim Yanni, who doesn't appear to be the stable elect, obviously, because Rachel's on Asaraludu.
Yeah.
But Slim Yanni, his latest form line concerns me a bit because they were very congested in the finish. But he is best weighted and he's got that apprentice allowance. Just needs to jump on terms. Asaraludu, I don't know if you watched the post-race interview when he won his maiden.
No.
His trainer, Michael Roberts, seems very upbeat about his career.
Okay.
He thinks he's got a bright future. At the weights, he has to be respected. He's likely raced and he's second best in. Beecham Wood Boy, since being gelded, very, very consistent. Recorded a first, second and a third. Can't ignore his chances. And then number 1, Don Karari, consistently close up in his recent efforts. So I've gone wide, just the safe route.
Yeah, it's interesting though. Lucky Dollars came out of Asaraludu as well. So, but as you guys have mentioned, hard, small, competitive form lines haven't really held up across the board. Tough race. So place accumulators, let's see what they look like. It's interesting to see what the boys have done here in this race. And they're going all of 1, 2, 6 and 7. So as many as 4 runners in the first leg. By 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By banker 1. By banker 3. By 10 and 13. By banker 3. And then a whole lot of horses that want to survive the last leg. 2, 3, 6, 11, 12, 14 and 17. All right, we're back with the maiden class field now. They're going over 1,000 metres. From a market perspective, the latest is that, well, at 10 o'clock this morning, 17 to 10 about number 2, Master Bling's a first-timer. I want to ask Darren Burrows a little bit about what you know about this horse. And I would imagine it's shortened into 17 to 10, didn't open 17 to 10. So give us some info as to what you may know.
Clyde, this horse is fancied quite strongly. Yes, they say maybe he's looking for a bit further, but you go to his dam Blingle Bulls, all 4 of her wins were over 1,000 meters. There's a lot of speed in this dam line, and this field is not strong. So I've actually tipped 2 pick sixes. In the one, I put the field, including the first timer, to double up, and another one bankering the first timer because I do believe he should make a winning debut.
Interesting, because as we're talking right now, the horse has just shortened to 16 to 10, so they're into it now.
Your money?
No, not at all. I would not be betting on first timers, but yeah, tell me about it.
Yes, Clyde, I know nothing about it other than the comments in the front of the computer form. Nice horse, shows good work. Like Darren touched on, the dam was very speedy. But let's watch the marker closer to race time. I think it will speak loudly. Of the race runners, Clyde, number 1. 1 Irish Rover. Now, last time he led for a long way with the blinkers, just tied very late.
Yes.
I'm going back to his penultimate start without the blinkers because they have been removed.
All right.
That Aravadicho run. Have you got the form line in front of you?
The Aravadicho run.
Yeah. So he ran 7th, Clyde. This may not be
Yeah,
all directly winners, but indirectly.
Imperial
the
Order
first,
was one of them.
2nd, 3rd, 5th, 4th, 5th, and 6th have
All
all
come
won
to
since
win.
then.
But Imperial Order was a direct, I think.
Yeah, so if he reproduces his penultimate start and he's not in need of this outing,
Yep.
I think of the race runners, I'm going to be with number 1 Irish Rover, but this race concerns me.
Okay, interesting race, because what do? You've got a horse that's fancied, inverted commas. What do we do? The horse is shortened now 16 to 10 at 10 o'clock this morning. The field, the competition does not sound to be that strong. And we'll see what the players. So there's 2 plays. Let's have a look at them. And the first one from Darren Burrows is he wants to go the field in the first leg, which is shown up now. And he's bankering, you see the 13 and the 3 in that pick 6. So he's got 2 bankers in the first play. So make a note of that. The second play from Darren Burrows' pick 6 side is where he's bankering the first timer, this horse Master Bling, and then he's covering the bankers a bit later, as you can see. And again, that's about 200 Rand, 10% or thereabouts. That could be your play. And we'll see closer to race time, this horse may start even shorter. Super Fast is 5 to 2 at 10 o'clock this morning over 1,400 metres. Darren Burrows, what's the story with Super Fast? I see being scratched a couple of times. What's the inside there?
Yes, I don't know the reason why, but he has been scratched, I think, twice in the past 3 or 4 weeks. It has to be a concern, but I do believe he brings the best form into the race, even though his last 2 seconds, those form lines haven't produced a winner. But he has been eye-catching at the finish, suggesting the 1,400 is going to be ideal. Dangers, Majestic Rain, good second last time out. Gold Index, recently gelded. You can expect a much improved run. And his Master's Voice, his last run at Scottsville, was a good second to Harley Street.
All right, well, you're talking about form lines. Majestic Rain, Gold Index, both come out of good form lines. One in particular is Gold Index. That form is very strong, and depending on how ready this horse is going to be today, Daryl Marie.
It's going to be very interesting, Clyde, because this horse came to the track with a huge reputation on debut. Hasn't quite lived up to expectations. That's them deciding to gull him, put him away, give him a chance. He comes back with a set of blinkers. By Silvano, Clyde, now that he's been gelded, I think he can show his true potential. Majestic Rain, last time he had his first start as a gelding, it was over 1,200. Distance sharp on the side for him, doing his best work late. I think 1,400 draw 1, a lot's in his favour. So I'm going to make him the leading light of here. I'm going to go 1 from 5. I respect the 2 Super Fast. That last form line concerns me. Although it was over 1,000 meters, it's now 1,400. It's a different ball game. But I've got preference for the 1 and the 5 over the 2.
Yep. Well, no reason not to. They've certainly got chances. Daryl Marie's worked out his jackpot for us, and this is what it looks like. The first leg is going 125 by banker 3, by 10 and 13 by banker 3. Five, if you do watch Weighted to Win, that's fantastic. Remember to join us on our social media platforms. We've got Weighted to Win Twitter's account. It's at Weighted to Win's our handle. Daryl Marie's got his own handle. Darren Burrows has got his personal one, and so do I. But Weighted to Win's got theirs, and that's what is worth following. And we've got a WhatsApp group going as well. We've actually got several going, to be honest. All right, Arvini King looks like the play of the day. One of our bankers, Darren Burrows, hard to beat. Currently 16-10 when we did the show this morning.
He does look the right horse, Clyde. He's had excuses in his last two starts, racing wide and awkwardly around the bend. And I believe from a decent draw this time around, and Keegan de Mello going to give him every opportunity to get it right. I think he's the horse to beat. In the pick sixes, I did cover him with horses like Triton and a horse like Gimme Gorgeous that's improving.
Okay. Well, Keegan de Mello will know him because he's ridden this horse before and now back on the horse. Looks hard to beat.
Very hard to beat, Clyde. I do expect him to confirm that form with Gimme Gorgeous because he was pushed wide into that first bend, right? I expect him to confirm the form with Space Cowboy because he had a horrible draw on that occasion. I expect him to reverse the form with Triton because Triton was given a peach of a ride on that occasion and he met interference. So I think a lot is in his favour. And I'll be very disappointed if he doesn't get it right today. Maybe a horse like Johnny's Hope could be the exact horse, Clyde. Didn't see out the trip last time out. Penultimate start on the poly track, wasn't quite himself. Who rides Johnny's Hope now, Clyde? I think is this the real Rachel Vinegar? I think it's the real Rachel
I've heard about that, yeah. Yeah. All right, so running on strong last time. We like this horse very much. We're going to banker it, and there's an all-on that has been recommended for you in the play. And this is what the deal is from our tipsters. Well, it's Darren. He wants to go Arvini King into Al Dante, the double. Let's talk about race 6. It's a handicap. It's at the 73 level here. And Darren, in your you had a double running, correct? Let's talk about the race and what you like.
Well, Al Dante, very hard to beat. You know, this horse is now coming on the right way after that lengthy layoff he had a couple of runs back. He won in with consummate ease last time out. He's a lovely big strider, and I'm hoping that Keegan allows him to use his action once again from the deep draw, overcome the draw into a handy position, and try and win the race from there. He looks to be above the handicapper, or ahead of the handicapper, should I say. In one of my perms, I did include Time Taker and Al Ravien into my play, but Al Dante, a confident first choice.
Yeah, he won very impressively. He pulled away from the field and does, as you say, seem to be a very nice horse. Wound up by 6 or 7 lengths. Keegan back on. Quality of field, competition-wise, like for like, much the same or stronger?
No, definitely stronger, Clyde. But take note of the jockey arrangements. Now, Keegan de Mello rode Al Ravien last time out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, Hollywood Bets' horses are mainly ridden by Keegan in KZN.
Yeah.
Especially when they've got a chance. Yeah, Keegan's opted to get off him and ride Al Dante. So that speaks volumes.
Maybe you can't blame him in the manner that this horse won last time. Eh?
Al Ravien also won a good race last time out, but Al Dante, he's unexposed of this trip, and I think he ran above his rating last time out. I know he got the maximum 4 kg penalty, but he ran above his current rating. I'm not worried about the draw, Clyde. He's got enough early toe and the entire length of the back straight to overcome that. I do have respect for Al Ravien because he's an improving sort. Now, Clyde, listen to these
comments.
Yeah. No, Duncan Hills, his last 15 runners, 4 winners, 5 seconds and 5 thirds.
Excellent.
The stable is flying, Clyde.
Excellent.
And he has an improving sort. So they're both going to be forward in running. They're both going to be given a chance. I've just opted to go the 2 of them.
Okay. Won well last time, having a look at it. Looked a little bit green in running, so bound to continue improving, but there are a couple, I guess, that you have to consider. This is the play for the race. Darren Burrows says Al Dante's last win was just too good and should repeat that today. Well, Captain Fontaine runs now, and last time out in the Marula Stakes, got up in the closing stages to win, when ahead or so, whatever that winning distance was, and a fairly competitive field, but a lovely mover, good looker, seems to be on the up, this horse, and lots are saying, well, I've heard from various people, different people, this horse is going to take a power of beating today. Is that the case, Darren, from your side?
Clyde, yes, this horse is not a sprinter anymore. You can see up the straight, he comes under pressure early, he stays on very late on in the race. His class carried him through last time out, and now the 1500 is going to be ideal for him. From a good draw, even with the 60 kilos, he could be a class above these. In one of my perms, I included Ideal Act and Diani, who's going for, I think, 4 or 5 in a row. 51.5 kilos to shoulder, but Captain Fontaine definitely hard to beat.
And current price about Captain Fontaine, Darryl, is 14 to 10. I'm not sure if it's going to shorten or will that drift or what's the story?
I don't think it can shorten, Clyde. He's definitely the horse to beat. Clyde, I think this horse has been down out for extra.
Yeah.
You can see in his second start as a 3-year-old, he won over 1400.
Yes.
So he's certainly strengthened up. He's got he's a much better horse now. So the 1500 is going to be ideal for him. My only concern is the pace of the race, and I hope it's going to be honest, because if Lady Legend got an easy lead like she did in a later start, he might be tugging behind them and caught flat-footed in the straight. I hope it's honest. I think with the likes of Juan Carlos and Newsstream, it should be. And if it's honest, I think Captain Fontaine will quicken up and get the job done for the punters. Let's hope it is true, Clyde. Ideal Act, he's got a lot in his favour. I think his track and trip suited. Keegan DeMello from a one draw. He's just out at the weights. If I'm not mistaken, he's 4 kilograms out. So he's going to have to run well above his current rating to trouble Captain Fontaine.
I see this also shine as a 104 in the ratings. Is that right?
Yeah, he's a sprinter, Clyde. So not for me.
Okay. Interesting. There's 106 and 104 between the two puller horses. Let's have a look at what the selection is here for the guys and which way we're going. Daryl Marie's quite big on this horse, Captain Fontaine. All right, and not an easy race this, knowing from the boys they put lots of horses in all of their perms in this last race. So 5 to 1 the field, Diamond Girl number 3 on the card, 11 to 2 the 13 La Pura Vida, and 6 to 1 number 14 on the card at the moment, Peter Muscat's Valerius Dream. Let's talk about it. Darren Burrows, the last race. Maybe there's a healthy quartet here that we can get.
Very tough, Clyde. I went the field in the exotics in both my perms. Palm Breeze interests me because this filly won first time out over course and distance and then was tried over a mile, 14, 15, and her rating dropped 9 points. So back over course and distance, unbeaten. I think Palm Breeze at 25 to 1 has to be included into your swingers. Petite Verdot, I think she's open to improvement. Might need one more run, but wide open.
Okay, interesting. You got this horse Palm Breeze, like you say, it's 25, 28, 33 to 1, whichever way you want to take, but 4 to 1 a play, so don't leave out the 2 in terms of quartets and that sort of stuff. Daryl, you got a 25 to 1 shot?
Clyde, this is the hardest race on the card.
I can imagine.
And you know what I can tell you? The 2 and the 11 are my top 2 picks.
Oh, is that so?
Darren touched on.
Okay.
I've got nothing else to add. I think Palm Breeze has to improve on her latest form of this track and trip. Petite Verdot, she needed a comeback start in open company, going to strip fit her. If I'm not mistaken, she has one of this course in distance.
Yep.
Yes, she has. She's got a lot of scope for improvement. So, Clyde, barring the 2 of them, it's a wide open event. Yeah.
Well, Palm Breeze and Petite Verdot, those are the 2 at big prices, the 2 horses. So put them into your play. Maybe double float them in the quartets to get some money out of this if it does go that way. Let's have a look. Here it is what the guys are recommending. And they have both found Palm Breeze and they recommend at 4 to 1 a place. It may be worth a strike.